Everybody, here for Loving Hip Hop Atlanta, season 5, episode 7. Let's get into it. So it starts off with Carly and Tommy, and Carly, Carly and Tommy have a little bit of a rocky relationship for the simple fact that the whole Jocelyn thing and the fact that that whole thing happened where they felt like Carly was talking about Jocelyn, but Carly kind of backtracked to what she said about Jocelyn. And Carly was like, that she's like one of those friends who would keep it all the way 100 with you, which she is. I will give Carly that. Carly will tell you the truth whether you want to hear it or not. So she's like, if somebody's talking about you, I'm going to tell you. And I would rather tell you than have you find out that I was there when it happened and I said nothing. So Tommy is like, Carly's like, I defend my friendships. That's just me. So Tommy is like, well, you know what? I'm the type of person I'd rather not know. I'd rather deal with the secret than actually you tell me what happened. So Carly was like, all right, well, I got some tea now that I know, but I won't tell you since you don't want to know it. So Tommy is like, okay, so because I said that I don't want to know about drama, or I don't want to know, stuff that's going on. Now you gonna dangle something over my head. Okay, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, Carly, you petty for that. But at the same time, Tommy did say she didn't want to know. So we get to Jocelyn and Don, and they're house hunting because Jocelyn and Stevie have been living in a hotel since they got back to Atlanta. So Jocelyn is like, Don is here so we could conversate. I'm like, skirt, VH1. Y'all couldn't stop her in that take and say, hey, Jocelyn, conversate is not a word. Although, 90 to 95% of the world, I can't speak for the world, but 90 to 95% of people would agree that conversate should be a word. But unfortunately, it's not. It's converse. What can you do? But anyway, so they're discussing Tommy and KK, and Dawn was like that her and KK were friends at one point. They did time together, but as soon as KK, I guess KK got out of jail or something like that, she changed, and she was saying how, she knew that KK was on the run. She was on America's Most Wanted. So, stuff just changed. They stopped talking to each other. So then she's like, I guess she found out that KK and Tommy were really cool or something like that. It was just, Don and KK have history. That's what it is. So Stevie walks in. No. Jocelyn knows that Stevie is upset that Dawn is around. And Dawn is like, I can understand why he's upset, but I mean, if Jocelyn could get over it, then you can too. So I'm like, well, it's not that easy. Stevie has a right to be upset because y'all had a really nasty falling out. So Jocelyn is like, what, the past is the past. This is the future. I'm like, actually, Jocelyn, this is the present, but it's okay. I'm gonna need Jocelyn to go back to school. That's just, I'm just gonna need her to take some English classes because her English is not that great. But anyway, so Stevie arrives and he's basically questioning why Dawn is around, like why now. And like I said in my last video, I do feel like there is an ulterior motive when it comes to Dawn, because every time you see Dawn, it's always when some drama is about to happen or already happened. So I mean, we just gotta peep what she's around for now. So Jocelyn is now asking to see her contract or whatever. And Stevie is like, now you want to see your contract? I manage you. All deals go through me. So if you decide to do anything, they have to go through me first. So Jocelyn is like, see, this is the Stevie that I can't stand. He always wants to control me, and I can't be controlled. I'm an artist. I want to do what I want to do, and I want to make money the way I want to make money. And I'm tired of him dangling the fact that he's my manager over my head or whatever. So I'm like, well, Stevie is controlling, and he does have a control issue, and you knew that when you first got with him. So Carly invites Scrap to her store, like as they're closing, and she wants to do a business deal with him because she has a record label. Okay. So she was like, she saw him at the Dollar Memorial, and she heard him and his brother rap, and he said him and his brother have a song out called I'm a Dog. And she's like, well, why are you laughing? You know, is it true? Are you a dog? He said, first of all, in order for me to cheat or be considered a dog, I have to be in a committed relationship, which I'm not. So Carly already knows the BS he's going through with Tommy and Tierra. So, you know, I mean, technically speaking, I don't know, because Scrap is a douche. Because Scrap was at one point with Tommy, and then he was messing around with Tierra. So even if he didn't take those relationships seriously, he did lead both of them on. So they both have a right to be pissed off at him. So, Carly was just like, you know, she liked to make moves with them together. She's doing like this radio show on one of the stations or whatever, and they do like after dark talks, like about sex and all of that. So, but she was basically saying, because Scrap was asking her about Life, and she was like, yeah, I'm seeing Life Jennings. But she explained that ever since LA, she hasn't seen Life. He hasn't called her. He just disappeared on her. So now her and Scrap are flirting, and she's telling him about the radio show and whatnot. So then he's like, you know, I like it long, fast, against the wall, cars, bathroom, shower, all. And I'm like, first of all, I don't understand how chicks find Scrap. There is nothing cute to me about Scrap. Like, honestly, I don't find him cute at all. And if you make mention that, oh, he got nice long hair, okay, but it look like he don't take care of his hair. It look like he don't wash it. It look like he just slap it in a ponytail, or he just wear it out. It look like he does not put any type of shampoo or conditioner to that hair. So I don't know. You know who? And somebody made this meme. God bless them for making this meme, because I sure enough shared it on Facebook. They put a picture of Real from Real Chance of Love and I Love New York, and a picture of Scrap, and it said name brand versus great value. And I'm like, that's so true, because Real, if y'all remember watching him on I Love New York and Real Chance of Love, and any show he was on VH1, Real's hair was always laid to the gods. Like, that boy had, his hair was down his back, and it was gorgeous. It was always done. It was always shining. It was always glistening in the sun. Now that's cute. That's somebody who take care of their hair. Scrap looks like a friggin', he looked like Scar from The Lion King. He's not cute to me. I'm sorry. He's not cute to me. And if all chicks gotta say, oh, he's sexy, look at all that long hair. Yeah, but it don't look like he take care of his hair. His hair look like it's dirty. He look dirty. He is just not cute to me. Oh, I had to get that out. He's not cute to me. I just don't see it. That's just me. That's my opinion. He is not cute to me. But anyway, so next thing you know, he picks Carly up and puts her on the counter, and they start kissing. I'm like, what? Carly is a thought. This girl done been with so many dudes on this on this cast of Love and Hip Hop. It's ridiculous. Like, you are supposed to be in a relationship with Life. Okay, granted, he may have disappeared on you, but bro, where's your loyalty? Like, what? Anyway, so now we get to Jocelyn going to meet up with K. Michelle, and she ain't really revealed who it was until we got inside. So K. Michelle sends Jocelyn on this weird scavenger hunt throughout her big old house in Atlanta, and the scavenger hunt leads to K. Michelle big booty self jumping on a trampoline, and K. Michelle is like, you know, I'm in Atlanta for good. I'm back to stunt. I want to stunt on all these hoes who said I couldn't do it, and I'm doing it. You know, they said I wouldn't make it, and now I'm on my third album, so I want to have a third album. You know, I want to have an album release party, and I want to throw in their face like, ha ha, I did it. What y'all doing? So I'm like, you know what, K. Michelle? I get it. That's petty. That's right up my alley of petty. Like, I understand it, you know. I mean, we all grown women, but, you know, sometimes you got to be a little petty and show the chicks that be like, oh, she ain't going to. You sometimes have to show them, look at how far I've come. Look at where I'm at and look at where you at. Sometimes you got to do that. It's okay. You know, everybody's allowed to have petty moments. It's okay. So they're discussing Stevie, and Jocelyn is like, she's, departing from Stevie, like she's just over it with Stevie. She wants to do her own thing. So then they discuss Carly, and Jocelyn just said, I just feel like I didn't say I was going to blackmail Carly. I'm just saying, if you're going to keep talking about me, I got some stuff on you too. So, K. Michelle's like, well, I'll talk to Carly and, see where her head is at. And that's that, So, Stevie and Mimi, well, Stevie goes to Mimi's house. And they're discussing the party, and Mimi is like, I told you not to call Chris beautiful. He was like, well, I couldn't help it. She's beautiful. So Mimi is like, okay, whatever. So he's telling Mimi about the situation with Jocelyn and how Jocelyn is acting and treating him. And, Mimi is like, me and Jocelyn get along now. I would have never thought that we would get along, but, here we are. We get along and we're cool and all of that. But Mimi can't help but feel like, oh, I told you so, because remember, Jocelyn and Stevie got together when Mimi and Stevie was still together. So Stevie was messing around with Jocelyn while he was still with Mimi, and he broke Mimi's heart in the process. So, Stevie is like, listen, can I crash with you for a few days just to get myself together? So Mimi is skeptical, but she's like, well, I'll have to discuss it with Chris, because that's my boo now. So Mimi is fighting the urge to say, I told you so. I told you this was going to happen. But she's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to try and help out my friend, and I'm going to discuss it with my, with Chris later on. So Jocelyn meets up with Tommy, and Tommy apologizes for blowing up like she did at her viewing her what the hell party was it? Her video release party. So Jocelyn is like, well, why are you so upset? What's going on with you? So Tommy is like, I'm just so frustrated. Like, I'm just tired of Scrap and his BS. I'm just tired of everything. And, Tommy is like, Jocelyn is just trying to tell her, listen, you have to know when and where to act like that. So Tommy kind of feels like Jocelyn is a little bit of a hypocrite, but Jocelyn tells her she needs to chill. I was there. I used to be the one that would turn up everywhere I was, and if I see a chick, I want to bop her in the face. But you have to learn when and where to do those things. So she's advising Tommy to chill, and Tommy is like, listen, I had a little bit too much to drink. I have a temper problem, and I do want to fix it, but it's hard. Jocelyn is like, I know it's hard. I know, your emotions get the best of you. I really understand it, but you just have to try and keep yourself calm in situations like this. So I'm like, okay, Jocelyn, you giving her some good big sister advice. So now we get to Carly and Dom. And Carly is on the phone. I think her and Scrap is texting or something like that. So Dom catches her smiling, looking at the phone, and Dom is like, I know if any chick smiling like that, it has to be about a man. So Carly talks about her encounter with Scrap or whatever, and how he picked her up and kissed her. So Dom is sitting there. Dom is sitting there with her mouth open like, oh shoot. So then she called Carly Mother Thought Risa. I'm like, yes, that's the name for her, because Carly is a thought. She is a thirsty hoe. She is a thought. So Carly was like, well, all of this is going on, and I'm trying to tell Tommy that, I'm going to do this business deal with Scrap, but she didn't want to know. So everything that I'm doing with Scrap, I'm keeping a secret. And I'm like, Carly, you so messy. So speaking of, somehow the conversation gets to Scrappy, and Dom is like, oh, Scrappy is trying to FaceTime me and trying to get with me and all this other stuff, talking about he wants to spend time with me. And I'm like, aren't you with Bambi or whatever? And she's like, I ain't got no time for it, because Scrappy is messy, and I don't have no time to deal with him and his shenanigans and whatnot. So I'm like, Scrappy is another thirsty one, because once he's single, it's like he just go after any and every chick in Atlanta. And it's sad. He's another thirsty one. He's the male thought. Carly's the female thought. He's the male thought. He's Father Thought Risa. So now we get to Mimi and Chris having a conversation about Stevie staying over. And Chris is bothered by Jocelyn and Stevie, period. She wants nothing to do with them and their drama. So Mimi is giving her details. Let me see. Mimi is giving her details about the relationship of Stevie and Jocelyn. And Chris is basically like, well, I don't care. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So then she tells Chris about Stevie wanting to stay there for some time or whatever. And Chris is like, I don't have a problem with Mimi being around Stevie. You know, as the father of her child, you do what you do. But what I have a problem with is that Stevie thinks that he's a player and he thinks that he can, you know, like Mimi is his possession. So she's like, I trust Mimi, but I don't trust Stevie. Because what if he stays there, you know, for the few days he's saying he's going to stay there, and he decides he wants to try and sneak in Mimi's bedroom or whatever at night. Like, I know how these things go. And I'm like, right, Chris, you have to question everything, especially Stevie and his ulterior motives. So Chris is like, you know what? I think I need to give you time to just figure everything out. I love you, but once you figure everything out, maybe we'll see how it goes. So Mimi's sitting there crying, and she's like, are you breaking up with me? Chris is like, no, I'm not breaking up with you. I just feel like we need to take a break. I think you need to have time to figure out your situation. So, I mean, Mimi took that kind of hard, but I don't think Chris was full on saying, you know, I don't want to be with you anymore. She's just saying we need to take a break because there's a lot going on, you know, in your life right now. There's a lot going on in mine. We need to just take a break. It doesn't mean that's the end of us. It just means right now we need to take a chill. So K Michelle is filming the video for her song Mindful. First of all, Mindful is my song. Who that? Tell it to move back. Security. Like, if you hear that song, first of all, K Michelle is rapping on the whole song, okay? T-Pain is on the song with her, but she went in on that song, and in the video, look like it's nice and ratchet, just the right amount of ratchet. And then K Michelle got this colorful hair. I'm like, yes, K Michelle. These booty shorts, yes, K Michelle. So Carly is at the video shoot with her or whatever, and K Michelle basically just came back with a vengeance. You know, a bunch of I told you so. She just feels like all of these chicks who dissed her when she was about to leave Atlanta, she basically feels like they ran her up out of Atlanta. Which, okay, if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. Maybe they don't feel that way. But I can see why K Michelle wants to come back being petty, because these are the same girls that called her a liar. They called her crazy. And everything that K Michelle was saying was true. The whole thing with Memphis Hits, that was true. And everybody was so quick to jump on his side, not knowing that dude is actually a monster. And K Michelle, first of all, when K Michelle came on the first season of Love and Hip Hop, she never mentioned his name. The internet works fast. So whoever went online, they looked it up and saw who K Michelle dated way before she got on Love and Hip Hop, and boom, put two and two together and found out it was Memphis Hits. So for Memphis Hits, Toya, Rashida, Tamar, all these people who said that K Michelle was a liar, for all of them to take that out on K Michelle, it wasn't fair to her. So I can understand why she's upset, you know, and still and feeling petty, which rightfully so she should, because they all called her a liar when every single thing that she said is true. I mean, come on. How many shows have Toya and Memphis been on since finding out these allegations that K Michelle had? They about to be on Marriage Boot Camp in June. Okay? And Memphis Hits look like he's the type that has a temper problem. He's a punk. He's not a man. He's a little boy. So I can understand why K Michelle wants to be petty. She wants to come back with a vengeance, like, I told you so. I told y'all I was telling the truth, but y'all want to call me a liar. So she gives Carly the invites, and she's not inviting Dom for whatever reason. I guess she doesn't want the drama, because her and Dom did have like a little bit of a rocky relationship on K Michelle's show. Some incident happened with her and K Michelle, and it was something that happened between like K Michelle, Dom, and P London. Like Dom, it basically felt like Dom was trying to cause like a conflict between K Michelle and P London or whatever. That wasn't even a conflict to cause. So she didn't invite Dom. But Carly is basically fine with not being friends with Jocelyn, but she is having a hard time dealing with it. You can tell. So now we get to Mimi and Arian, their birthday celebration. And before the celebration, well, it's a before birthday celebration. And Dom and Rashida arrive. Carly arrives too, and she tells them that K. Michelle is back in town. Back in town. None of them are happy about it. So Mimi is like, nope, I'm not with it. The last time I saw K. Michelle, she hit me with flowers. She was cursing me out. I ain't got nothing to say to her. And of course, Rashida is like, okay. So she gives out the invites, and Rashida is like, I ain't going to that. Mimi's like, no, I won't be there. So Dom is sitting there like, well, where's my invite? So Dom is a little offended that she's not invited. The invite that Rashida had, she gave it to Dom, and Dom ripped it up and was like, well, ain't nobody going. So Bambi arrives, and she's on her date, like, another date with Chaz. And I don't even know why Dom felt like it was relevant to even tell Bambi this while she's on a date. But I don't know. I guess camera time, because this scene was stupid. So Dom tells Bambi about Scrappy FaceTiming her, and Bambi's like, okay, well, that's great. Scrappy does that with all females. He always has somebody on, speed dial when he ain't in a relationship. So it's nothing new. So Bambi doesn't really care. So Dom is like, oh, Bambi is like, well, why do you feel the need to tell me this? It's not really relevant. And, Dom is like, it is relevant because I'm telling you, I could take your old and I could take your new, because I'm that. And I'm like, Dom, Rashida was right in removing Dom, because this whole conversation was stupid. What were you going to get out of telling Bambi that Scrappy is FaceTiming her? Like, what sense does that make? It made no sense to me. Like, that whole entire scene was stupid. Like, it just looked like Dom was looking for a fight. Like, really. It looks so stupid, and she looks stupid in this scene, because it's like, okay, Scrappy is FaceTiming you. Take that up with Scrappy. Don't take it up with Bambi. Bambi and Scrappy are not together, and she's not Scrappy's keeper. So this whole thing was stupid and irrelevant, but that's where it ended. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about this episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later.